My wife cheated on me with her ex and lied about it, but I found the truth and exposed everything, shattering her world and leaving me to rebuild mine. What's going on? There was one situation when my wife tried to call her ex-boyfriend 4 times in a row at 10 o'clock at night. She didn't talk with him but tried to reach him. I know that because we used to have an app where there were 2 numbers saved, and I could see incoming and outgoing phone calls for each number. After that, I went nuts. Why is my wife calling her ex 4 times at 10 o'clock at night? I decided to check her iMessage on her laptop. I felt terrible, but for me it was justified. We're married, have kids, and she is acting weird. After calling him 4 times, she wrote him a message. I'm going to keep calling until you pick up and talk to me as a normal human being. When I asked her about it, she lied and said she wasn't calling him. So I showed her the app and her outgoing calls. She had nothing else to do but admit she did try to reach him. I asked her why, and she explained she was calling back, knowing that she also wrote to him after calling. I asked her if she wrote anything to him after. She said no. Then I showed her the message she wrote to him, and she explained that he got drunk and called her, started talking some mumbo-jumbo. When she heard that, she told him to F off and hung up. Then she felt wrong about it and tried to call him 4 times because he wasn't picking up. Finally, she wrote what she wrote. He didn't reply. I don't know what to think about it. It happened around the time she stopped being intimate with me. Her opinion on the situation is that for her it's not weird or bad that she kept it from me. It's not important for her. The thing is, any contact with an ex is a bad sign. It's unacceptable for me. Is she cheating? There's no intimacy between us since 6 months ago. This is when the calls happened. I also posted on Dead Bedrooms yesterday, and my situation is described in more detail there, but this post is about infidelity in particular. Update. Thank you all for your insight. At first, I couldn't believe how many of you claimed that she is indeed cheating on me. It was like some science fiction to me, something I would see in a movie, maybe something my wife would never do. However, today, everything changed. It became a fact. I feel stupid to be just another person like that. But I guess this is how life is now. I know I promised to call her ex and talk to her family, but I decided to take a step back and play it cool. Can you believe how easy that was? All I did was install a voice-activated recorder in our car, not even a GPS. It was there for just 3 days. She used the car to go to work, and then she went to a workout. Finally, she called him, or he called her, twice. I don't know exactly who called whom, but I heard every word. It was a video conversation over the phone. I heard all the stuff I needed. Things about sex, things about each other's lives. They talked like my wife and I did 9 years ago when we met each other. Same attraction, jokes, etc. Something I haven't had with her for a while. They talked about vacation planning. She wants to visit him this July.
Wow.
She gave him a time frame of 2 years to move back to our country. Jesus, I can't believe it. Now I'm processing an hour-long recording of this filth. There are some things I need to process. I need to meet an attorney next week, etc. All I wanted to say is thank you. You opened my eyes, and if it wasn't for you, I would have never bought the freaking voice recording device. To think I felt bad placing it in the car, my God, I will be updating. Right now, I need to chill a bit, keep thinking about my kids and what she has done. They started it in September last year. It took me 2 months to notice changes in her behavior. I will be taking care of my old father for an entire week in another city. This means she won't be going to work for a week. Instead, she will use my home office. This also means she will likely be talking to him in the office. Would you place a recorder in the office for the next week, or have I enough? Update. Hi everybody. When the intimacy between my wife and me ended, I posted on the Dead Bedrooms subreddit to find out what was going on. Then I posted on this subreddit about one situation when she called her ex 4 times. I received great support from the community, which led me to put a voice recorder in her car. Now I have proof that her problems are not caused by the reasons she tells everybody around, that I'm basically not enough, that she does all the work around the house, etc. It's old-fashioned, pure cheating. It started in September last year, so I'm out of the picture for a long time. The details are in my other posts. But here's the thing. Right now, she doesn't want to spend a moment with me around the apartment we rent. She always has some stuff to do and goes to her parents, aunts, friends, etc. She even goes to sleep or just lies in bed when we put our kids to sleep, our 1- and 3-year-old. The recording tells it all. She mentions she loves him, that she wants to visit him and have sex with him. They talk a lot about his penis. She told him she wants to go on vacation with him, that she will be his wife, and that she'll leave me soon. She was even talking about his favorite sex position, so yes, they had sex. It's all there. The point is, she doesn't know that I know. Her whole family and friends don't know. They just think we have a temporary crisis. She is one of 3 sisters, Catholic, and goes to church every Sunday. We live in a small town of 20,000 people. We recently built a house, but it's not finished. I feel like she will file for divorce very soon. I can see she is suffering with me in the apartment and she can't handle it anymore. Her body language and total lack of any conversation show it. She wants me out soon so that there will be some time when I'm gone, and then within 2 years the affair partner will move to the small town to live with her in her house with my 2 little boys. In the recording, she mentioned she gives him 2 years to come back to our country. People will understand that she needs a father for her kids and won't complain. The affair partner is her first boyfriend. They were together for 7 years before she married me. We have been together for 9 years. The affair partner is living abroad but visits our country frequently. I refuse to be played like that. Now I have an attorney and will be meeting him soon about it. I can basically destroy her reputation by showing bits of the recording to anybody. Please help me with any advice. What do I do when she serves me papers? My attorney says my papers need a month of preparation. I would never guess I would be dealing with a monster like that. One quick thought from Emergency DDD 3355. Do not wait for her to file for divorce. You file as soon as possible. Your attorney should tell you to get your personal finances together. This includes all house, autos, insurance, and credit cards. As soon as she is served, tell her parents, your parents, and all friends about her cheating. You need to get in front of this, or she will walk all over you. Do you live in a no-fault state or country? Good luck. Update. This is an update to the post-wife is in a relationship with her ex. I met with the attorney and learned some significant things. It turned out that going to burn her world would not be so smart. The reason for that is that we have kids, and I have to co-parent with her for the next 15 to 16 years. Another reason is I have a lot of respect for her family, and I don't want to get them involved in the divorce as witnesses. Also, I would not win custody of the kids because they are small and have to be with their mother in a small town 1 hour away from me in the capital city. I would be an every other weekend dad anyway. Finally, I would not have permission to sell her house because the kids need to have good living conditions and won't have another place to live. The place they live now is a property of her dad's. It's temporary. As crappy as it sounds, it's the reality in Poland, Europe. After our conversation, the attorney sent her papers. They were said to be delivered right after Easter. In Poland, it lasts 2 days, Sunday and Monday. I faked it all at the table. Alcohol helped a lot. Yesterday, Tuesday, I had a day off work, and I was taking care of my 1-year-old son. She went to work in the capital city, 1 hour away. In the meantime, my brother helped me take all my stuff from the apartment and put it in his car. The postman delivered the divorce papers. Actually, an invitation to mediation so we could divide everything like civilized people and divorce amicably. The paper states that she is in a relationship with this guy, first and last name, and it's the reason the divorce will happen. The evidence I have will serve as leverage when establishing child support, etc. When she entered the house, I told her that I know everything. I have irrefutable proof. I'm deeply wounded by it, and she needs to contact my lawyer. Then I gave her the divorce papers and left to visit her parents. Of course, she started asking what I know and how I know and denied everything. Her parents were in shock but believed me. I recorded it all, just like my attorney ordered me to do. It started with my questions about whether they think I'm a good, caring husband and father. They approved, and now she can't use them as witnesses against me in court. Like I said, they believed me, understood that it's a horrible thing she's done, and that she's destroyed their, mine, and our kids' lives. I thanked them for understanding and went to the capital city. In the meantime, I called one friend, and he took care of distributing the news to her friends. 2 hours later, my brother-in-law called me and informed me that she admitted she'd been cheating on me with the affair partner, but she didn't admit to actually having sex with him. He informed me that everybody is on my side and that she destroyed our family. He told me her sister visited my soon-to-be ex-wife and told her how evil she is, but in the end, he told me that everything can be saved, that he also cheated on his wife, she forgave him, and now they are very happy. Then her father called and also admitted that it's completely her fault and that she doesn't realize what she's done. He told me the affair partner will never enter his house and he will stop financially helping the soon-to-be ex-wife. He even called the affair partner, but he didn't pick up. In the end, he said he believes it can be saved. Finally, her other sister sent me a text telling me that she fully supports me, but again, she believes it can be saved. I don't like that at all because I don't believe it can be saved. I'm positive about it. I'm afraid they will cling to the fact that I don't have some sort of sex tape of them, and my reasons are not enough to leave her. I have recordings of her saying, "Make sure you last more than 3 seconds when I come visit you in Holland. I wonder if your dad's penis is the same as yours. You know what? I'll come to that woman and will ask her how long is your brother's penis, and I will tell her how long is yours. I love you. I'm going to leave my husband." Please record yourself and send me a video. Your favorite position is, I'm showing you how your life with me is going to look like. I'm giving you 2 years to move back here. All that, in connection with a lack of emotions towards me for 7 months. Furthermore, right after the confrontation, she told me she never stopped loving him. This is proof enough for me. What do you think? Anyway, right now, like many of you mentioned before, she is crawling back after her family confronted her about it. She is writing me texts like, I don't know what I was doing. I can't imagine living without you. I'm so sorry for everything I have done. I'm waiting with the kids for your comeback, blah blah blah. She also said that she didn't mean to tell me that she always loved him. I don't know. They made me feel like I jumped the gun with a divorce because I don't have the actual sex tape. They don't know that. All they know is that I have proof, and she is not admitting to actually having sex with him. It's believable because he is in Holland, but he could have visited her here. The thought gnaws at me as I sit in my brother's spare room in the capital city, an hour away from the small town where my life imploded. The room is sparse, a fold-out couch, a desk cluttered with my laptop and papers, a suitcase with the clothes I grabbed from our rented apartment. My kids, 1 and 3, are back there with my soon-to-be ex-wife, Anna, in the home we built together, unfinished like our marriage. The recordings from the voice-activated device in her car, graphic, intimate conversations with her ex, Merrick, planning vacations, sex, a future without me, play in my head on a loop. Her voice, laughing, saying she loves him, promising to leave me, cuts deeper than I thought possible. I'm 35, a father of 2, and I've never felt so betrayed, so foolish. Yet, her family's pleas to save the marriage, her tearful texts begging me to return, and my own doubts about whether I've jumped the gun without a sex tape are muddying my resolve. I'm determined to divorce, to protect my kids and myself, but the path forward is a minefield, and I'm navigating it alone. The past week has been a blur of action and emotion. Serving Anna the divorce papers, technically an invitation to mediation, felt like a release, a reclaiming of my dignity after months of her lies and gaslighting. Her denial, even when confronted with my knowledge, was predictable, but her family's reaction wasn't. Her parents, devout Catholics in our tight-knit town of 20,000, were devastated but believed me. Their trust in me as a husband and father recorded as leverage for court. Her sisters and brother-in-law, despite their shock, clung to hope for reconciliation, citing their own salvaged marriages. Their words, "It can be saved," echo in my mind, not as hope, but as pressure, a reminder of the conservative culture that binds us. Anna's texts, "I'm so sorry, I can't live without you," feel like traps, her remorse less about me and more about the consequences of her exposure. I'm not buying it. The recordings, her crude jokes about Merrick's body, her plans to leave me in 2 years, are proof enough of her betrayal, even without physical evidence of sex. I meet my attorney, Powell, again, in his cramped office in the capital. He's pragmatic, urging me to stay strategic. "You've got strong evidence," he says, reviewing the car recordings, her admissions of love, intent to leave, sexual conversations. "It's enough for fault-based divorce in Poland, especially with her lack of intimacy with you. But don't expect full custody. The kids are young, courts favor mothers, especially in small towns." He confirms I can't sell her father's house, where Anna and the kids live temporarily, as it's not ours, and the unfinished house we built is tied up in her family's finances. My best shot is primary custody every other week and leveraging the recordings for favorable child support and asset division. Paul advises against more recordings in the home office, saying the car evidence is sufficient. "Focus on your kids," he says. "Don't let anger drive you." I nod, but the urge to gather more proof, to solidify my case, is hard to shake. Back at my brother's, I call my dad, who I'm visiting next week to care for while he recovers from surgery. He's in another city, and the trip gives me a chance to clear my head. "You're doing right by your boys," he says, his voice gruff. "She doesn't deserve you." His support bolsters me, but I'm dreading the week away from my kids. Anna's likely to use my home office, and the thought of her talking to Merrick there, in our space, makes my skin crawl. I decide against another recorder. Powell's right, I have enough. But I set up a backup of my work files, just in case. My kids, Janik 3 and Tomek 1, are my priority, and I'm haunted by their confusion, their tantrums since Anna's behavior changed. I've started reading about co-parenting, books like Parenting Apart to prepare for the long road ahead. I journal, a habit I picked up after finding the Dead Bedroom subreddit, pouring out my anger, grief, and fear. I loved her, I write, but she chose him, planned a life without me. I won't be her fallback. The recordings revealed a side of Anna I never knew, crude, calculating, dismissive of our 9 years together. Her claim that she never stopped loving Merrick, her first boyfriend of 7 years, stings most. I met her in 2016, fell for her warmth, her faith, her laugh. We built a life, 2 kids, a house, a shared dream, only for her to rekindle a flame I thought was dead. The forums, emergency EDDT 3355's advice to file first, others' stories of betrayal, opened my eyes, but they also left me paranoid, second-guessing every memory. I call my friend Kuba, who spread the news to Anna's friends, and he updates me. She's a mess, he says. Her friends are shocked, but some are defending her, saying it's just talk, not physical. I scoff. Her words, "I want to have sex with you," are clear enough. Kuba's on my side, offering to crash with me in the capital if I need company. I'm grateful, but I need space to process. I've told my parents too, and they're heartbroken but supportive, urging me to focus on the kids. My mom's planning to visit soon, to help with Janek and Tomek when I have them. Their love anchors me, a reminder I'm not alone. I start therapy online with a psychologist, Dr. Zofia, recommended by Powell. In our first session, I spill everything. The calls, the recordings, Anna's lies, my rage. "You're grieving," she says. "Not just the marriage, but the woman you thought she was." She helps me name my emotions, betrayal, shame, fear for my kids, and suggests strategies, mindfulness to calm my racing thoughts, a routine to ground me. I'm skeptical, but I try, meditating 5 minutes a day, focusing on my breath. It's not a fix, but it helps, a pause in the storm. Dr. Zofia also warns against revenge, like exposing the recordings publicly. It'll hurt her, she says, but it'll hurt you and your kids more, tying you to her pain. I nod, remembering Powell's advice about CO parenting for 15 years. I want justice, but not at Janek and Tomek's expense. Work's a distraction, but I'm struggling. I'm a project manager at a tech firm in the capital, commuting from our town until now. My boss, understanding my situation, lets me work remotely, but my focus is shot. I miss deadlines, zone out in meetings, haunted by Anna's voice on those recordings. I confide in a coworker, Marta, who's been through a divorce. "Protect yourself," she says, "but don't lose who you are for her." She suggests a gym membership to burn off stress, and I join, lifting weights, running, feeling my body grow stronger even as my heart aches. The physical release helps, a counterpoint to the mental chaos. I've been thinking about Anna's family. They're pleased to reconcile. Her father's call, vowing to cut her off financially, felt like solidarity, but his hope for salvation grates. Her brother-in-law's admission of his own cheating, her sister's texts. They all see redemption where I see betrayal. Poland's Catholic culture, especially in our small town, pushes forgiveness, family unity, but I can't stomach it. Anna's church-going, her Sunday piety, was a facade, her vows to me broken while she planned a life with Marek. The recordings, her crude jokes, her "I love you" to him, are proof she's not the woman I married. Yet, her family's pressure makes me doubt. Not my decision, but my delivery. Did I move too fast? Should I have confronted her privately first? The forums, emergency IDD 355's urgency to file, pushed me to act, but now I'm navigating the fallout. I visit my dad, helping with his recovery, cooking meals, driving him to appointments. The routine grounds me, and we talk late into the night. "You're a good father," he says, "and you deserve better." I tell him about the recordings, the divorce, and he listens, no judgment. "Your boys need you strong," he says, and I cling to that, vowing to be present for Janek and Tomek, even if it means co-parenting with Anna. I call them daily, reading bedtime stories over FaceTime, their giggles a lifeline. Anna's civil, letting me talk to them, but her voice is flat, her remorse performative. I keep it brief, focusing on the kids, not her. Back in the capital, I start rebuilding. I find a small apartment, a 1-bedroom near my office, signing a lease to make the split real. I furnish it sparsely, a bed, a couch, a table, planning to add kid-friendly touches for Janek and Tomek's visits. I've saved enough to cover rent and legal fees, following Powell's advice to secure my finances. I've separated our accounts, canceled joint credit cards, and insured my car independently, ensuring Anna can't drain me. The house we built, unfinished and tied to her dad, is a loss I'm accepting. Material things pale next to my kids' well-being. I join a local dads group, meeting weekly to share parenting tips and struggles. One guy, Tomek, divorced after his wife's affair, becomes a friend. "You'll survive," he says, "but it's a marathon, not a sprint." He shares custody strategies like consistent routines for kids and warns against using the recordings in court unless necessary. "Judges don't like drama," he says. "Keep it clean." I take his advice, focusing on mediation, hoping Anna agrees to fair terms, every other week custody, reasonable support, so we avoid a trial. Anna's texts keep coming, a mix of apologies and pleas. "I was lost," she writes. "I love you, not him. Please come back." I don't reply, forwarding them to Powell as evidence of her instability. Her claim that she didn't have sex with Merrick, that it was just talk, is laughable. The recordings detail sexual plans, past encounters, her favorite positions with him. Whether he visited Poland or she met him abroad doesn't matter. Her intent was clear. I've stopped doubting my decision, but her family's hope for reconciliation sows seeds of guilt. Dr. Zofia helps me reframe it. Their hope is about their values, not your reality. You're protecting your kids. I start a journal for Janek and Tomek, writing letters about my love, my fight to stay strong. Your mom hurt me, I write, but I'll always be your dad, steady and here. It's a promise, a way to anchor myself in their future. I've also enrolled in a CO parenting class, learning to communicate with Anna without anger. It's tough, her voice triggers me, but I practice keeping texts short, about schedules and kids' needs. I've bought new toys for their visits, a dinosaur set for Janek, a soft book for Tomek, building a space that's theirs. I've reconnected with old friends, guys I drifted from during marriage. We grab beers, play soccer, and I open up about the divorce, finding solace in their support. My friend Marek, not the affair partner, offers his cabin for a weekend getaway with the kids, and I'm planning it, eager for time with Janek and Tomek away from the tension. I've also picked up photography, a hobby I loved in college, capturing city streets, sunsets, moments of calm. I'm no pro, but it's a release, a way to see beauty again. Work's improving as I settle into my routine. I've apologized to my team for my lapses, doubling down on projects, earning praise from my boss. Marta's become a mentor, sharing divorce tips, therapy, exercise, focusing on kids. I'm training for a 10K, running to clear my head, feeling my strength return. I've also started a side project, a tech blog about project management, writing anonymously about balancing work and pain. The feedback, readers saying it helps, gives me purpose, a way to turn my struggle into something good. Anna's mediation date looms, and I'm preparing with Paul, practicing calm responses to her likely denials. I've decided against playing the recordings in court, saving them for leverage if she fights custody or support. I want every other week custody, fair child support, and to walk away from the house debt. Paul's optimistic, saying Anna's affair weakens her position, but warns me to expect tears, manipulation. I'm ready, armored by therapy, friends, my kids' love. The kids keep me going. Janek started preschool, and I call his teacher, ensuring he's adjusting. Tomek's teething, and I send Anna tips from my parenting books, keeping it civil. I've planned their first sleepover at my apartment, with a fort-building night and pancakes. I'm reading The Invisible String to them over FaceTime, a story about love connecting us, hoping it soothes their confusion. Their laughter, their trust, is my fuel. Anna's family calls less, their hope fading as her denial persists. Her father texts, apologizing for her, promising to support my kids. I'm grateful but firm, no reconciliation. Her sister's text, "You're right to leave," validates me, a crack in their Catholic facade. The town's gossip is quiet, Kuba says, with Anna's friends split, some loyal, others distancing. I don't care. My focus is my boys, my life. I've been thinking about love, what it means after betrayal. Anna's affair wasn't just sex or talk. It was a choice to abandon me, to plan a future with Merrick while I raised our kids. I loved her fiercely, but that love's gone, replaced by a resolve to love myself, my boys, my future. I'm not dating, not ready, but I'm open to it someday, with someone honest, who chooses me daily. Dr. Zofia says I'm healing, learning to trust my instincts, and I feel it, a slow mending of my heart. Last night I ran under the city lights, my breath steady, my mind clear. I thought of Janek and Tomek, sleeping in our old apartment, of Anna's lies, of my new life. I'm not the man I was 9 years ago, smitten and naive, nor the one who raged at her calls to Merrick. I'm stronger, wiser, a father first, a man second. The recordings, the divorce, the pain, they're my past, but my future's mine to build. I'll co-parent with Anna, civil but distant, and give my boys a dad who's whole. The road's long, but I'm walking it, one step, one truth, one love at a time. The words anchor me as I lace up my running shoes in the pre-dawn chill of the capital city, my breath visible in the crisp June air. The streets are quiet, the city's still waking, and each stride feels like a declaration. I'm here. I'm moving forward. I'm rebuilding. Janek and Tomek, my 3- and 1-year-old sons, are asleep in their temporary home an hour away, with Anna, my soon-to-be ex-wife, whose betrayal shattered our 9-year marriage. The recordings, her crude, intimate calls with Merrick, her ex, planning a life without me, still echo in my mind, but they're losing their power. I'm 35, a father first, a project manager second, and I'm learning to let go of the pain, to build a life for my boys and myself, rooted in honesty and love. The mediation looms. Anna's texts beg for reconciliation. But I'm resolute. Divorce is my path, and I'm navigating it with care, for my kids' sake and my own. As I run, the city lights blur, and I think of Janek's dinosaur obsession, Tomek's gummy smile, the way they cling to me during FaceTime calls. They're my why, the reason I'm fighting through this. Last night, I read The Invisible String to them, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. We're always connected, I told Janek, pointing to the screen, and his nod, sleepy but trusting, fueled me. I'm planning their first sleepover at my new apartment, a small one-bedroom I've made kid-friendly with a toy chest and colorful bedding. The fort-building night, with pancakes and laughter, is a promise to them. I'm your dad, and I'm not going anywhere. Back at my brother's spare room, where I'm staying until my lease starts, I shower and check my phone. No new texts from Anna, a relief after yesterday's barrage. I'm lost without you, please, for the kids. I forward them to Powell, my attorney, as evidence of her emotional volatility, but I don't respond. Her words feel manipulative, a reaction to her family's rejection, not genuine remorse. The recordings, her laughing about Merrick's body, promising to leave me in 2 years, are proof she's not the woman I married in 2016, the one whose warmth and faith drew me in. I loved her fiercely, but that love's gone, replaced by a steely resolve to protect my boys and myself. I call Dr. Zofia, my online therapist, for our weekly session. You're holding firm, she says, her voice calm. But the family pressure's getting to you, isn't it? I admit it. The Catholic insistence on saving marriages, her father's hope, her brother-in-law's confession of his own cheating. It's sowing doubt, not about my decision but my pace. Did I rush the papers? I ask. Should I have talked to her first? Dr. Zofia shakes her head. You acted on evidence, not impulse. Her betrayal was deliberate, planned. Your response protected your kid's future. We work on reframing the guilt. It's not mine to carry. She suggests a visualization, picturing Janek and Tomek happy, safe with me, and it helps, grounding me in my purpose. Powell emails, confirming the mediation date in 2 weeks. He's prepared a proposal, every other week custody, fair child support, and no claim on the unfinished house tied to Anna's dad. The recordings, he says, give us leverage. Anna's affair weakens her position in Poland's fault-based system, especially with her lack of intimacy with me for 7 months. Expect tears, he warns. She'll play the victim. Stay calm, focus on the kids. I practice responses, scripting neutral answers to her likely denials, determined to keep it civil. I've decided against playing the recordings in court, saving them for negotiation if she fights. My goal is a clean break, co-parenting without drama, for Janek and Tomek's sake. Work's a lifeline, though my focus wavers. I'm managing a new software rollout, and my team's counting on me. I've apologized for recent slip-ups, doubling down on tasks, and my boss notices, offering a flexible schedule to ease the transition. Marta, my coworker and divorce veteran, checks in, sharing tips, set boundaries with Anna, keep texts about the kids only. I follow her advice, limiting communication to schedules and health updates, ignoring Anna's emotional pleas. I've also joined a gym, lifting weights to burn off anger, running to clear my head. The 10K I'm training for is a month away, a goal that feels like a metaphor. Endurance, not speed, will get me through. I meet Tomek, my friend from the dad's group, for coffee. He's been co-parenting for 3 years, and his stories, navigating custody, dealing with an ex's lies, resonate. You're doing better than you think, he says, clapping my shoulder. The first year's hell, but it gets easier. He shares a custody app, our family wizard, for tracking schedules and expenses, and I download it, eager for tools to streamline co-parenting. We talk about Janek and Tomek, how to keep them stable. Routines, he says, same bedtime, same rules at both houses. I'm already planning, story time, dinosaur games, a consistent rhythm to anchor my boys. I visit my dad, a week of caregiving that doubles as a retreat. His small apartment smells of coffee and old books, and we fall into a rhythm. Me cooking, him grumbling about his meds, both of us talking late into the night. She's a fool, he says, his eyes fierce. But you're not. You're building something new. I tell him about the apartment, the mediation, my fears for the kids. He listens, his hand on mine, and I feel his strength, a legacy I want to pass to Janek and Tomek. I FaceTime them daily, Janek showing me his preschool drawings, Tomek babbling. Anna's distant but compliant, letting me call, and I keep it short, focusing on the boys. Back in the capital, I move into my apartment, a milestone that feels like freedom. I unpack, hanging a photo of Janek and Tomek at the park, their smiles bright. I add a shelf for their toys, a small table for crafts. Kuba helps, bringing beer and bad jokes, and we laugh, a sound I'd forgotten. "You're gonna be okay," he says, and I believe him. I've saved enough for rent, legal fees, and a cushion, following Powell's advice to secure finances. Separate accounts, canceled joint cards, my car insured solo. I'm untangled from Anna, financially if not emotionally. Photography's become a refuge, my old college hobby reborn. I wander the capital's streets, capturing cobblestones, street musicians, dawn light on the Vistula River. I'm no artist, but the act of framing a moment, finding beauty, soothes me. I've joined an online photography group, sharing shots, getting feedback. One member, a woman named Ela, suggests a local exhibit, and I'm considering it a step toward community. My tech blog's growing too, with readers emailing thanks for my posts on work-life balance. Writing, journaling for the kids, blogging, forum comments. Feels like reclaiming my voice, lost in Anna's lies. Anna's texts slow, her pleas replaced by silence, a sign she's accepting the inevitable or planning her next move. Powell says she's hired a lawyer, a low-cost one, suggesting she's strapped financially without her dad's help. I'm prepared for mediation, scripting calm responses, focusing on Janek and Tomek. Dr. Zofia's visualization, my boys happy, laughing, keeps me steady. I've started a scrapbook for them, pasting photos, writing notes. Janek, you loved this dinosaur puzzle. Tomek, you giggled when we danced. It's a legacy, a way to show them I was here, fighting for them. The dads group meets and I share my progress. Apartment, mediation, therapy. Tomek nods, others chime in with advice. Document everything, stay consistent for the kids. I'm learning, absorbing their wisdom, feeling less alone. I've also joined a soccer league, playing weekly with old friends, the physicality a release. Merrick, not the affair partner, scores a goal, and we celebrate, sweaty and grinning. These moments, friends, sports, photography, are stitching me back together, a new self emerging from the wreckage. Anna's family's hope fades, their calls rare. Her father texts, promising to fund the kids' preschool, a gesture I accept for Janek and Tomek's sake. Her sister's support, your right to leave, lingers, a validation in our Catholic town. Gossips died down, Kuba says, with Anna's friends fracturing, some loyal, others ghosting. I don't care, my world's my boys, my work, my healing. I've stopped checking Anna's social media, a small victory, letting her fade into the past. Love's a distant dream, but I'm open to it someday. Dr. Zofia says I'm rebuilding trust, starting with myself. I see it in small acts, trusting my gut, trusting friends, trusting I'll be enough for my kids. A woman at the gym, Kasia, smiles at me, and I smile back, not ready but not closed off. For now, my love's for Janek and Tomek, fierce and unwavering. I've bought them matching dinosaur shirts, planning a zoo trip when I have them next. Their joy, their trust, is my North Star. Mediation's a week away, and I'm nervous but ready. Powell's prepped me for Anna's tactics, tears, denials, maybe accusations. I'll stay calm, focus on custody, support, a clean break. The recordings are my ace, but I hope not to use them, wanting peace for the kids. I've written a letter to Janek and Tomek, sealed for their 18th birthdays. I fought for you, always will. Your mom's choices weren't yours. I love you. It's a promise, a weight off my chest. Last night, I cooked pierogi, my mom's recipe, filling my apartment with warmth. I ate alone, but it felt right, a reclaiming of home. I'm not the man I was, smitten by Anna's laugh, nor the one who raged at her betrayal. I'm wiser, stronger, a father forging a path. The pain's a scar, not a wound, and I'm building a life, work, friends, kids, dreams, one step, one truth, one love at a time.